make our mind to shift from network-centric to application-centric infrastructure. Get that piece now. We call that as ACI. Where when you create an ACI fabric, we'll talk about the ACI fabric. So when you create that particular infrastructure, you've got a big ACI infrastructure. When you have the infrastructure inside this particular data center made of ACI switches, and we have an ACI fabric. Okay, that box which I've drawn here, let's say this is my ACI physical infrastructure. I've taken ACI switches, I've taken the right cables to connect them. The infra is getting ready, or it's ready. Once you make this infra ready, just a moment. Once you make this particular infra ready, what happens? The very first thing what happens is your networking. Your networking buildings are automated. I mean, what is the meaning of it? What is the meaning of networking buildings are getting automated? So basically in the fabric, you have switches that connects to each other, right? What happens is automatically you will find the switches will have their own management IP. The switches can talk to each other without configuring anything. They can talk to each other, right? Things like creating VXLAN, things like creating multicast group, things like creating IPs to the switches, it's getting automated. Okay, so what happens is the connectivity piece is what you build first in the infrastructure. The connectivity piece. The connectivity piece you have to build up manually. That's important, of course. When you buy the switches, the gears, the cabling part, the connectivity part is built up initially, right? And once the connectivity is there, what happens is once the connectivity is built up, access is provided automatically. So the switches can talk to the other switches automatically. Okay, so we normally say the networking buildings are automated, or networking things are automatically getting taken care of. All right, now what happens is inside that particular infra, when you bring your client that talks to your front end, that talks to your back end. So now what you need is the client that will connect to your front end, that will talk to your back end. So I've got this client, I've got this front end servers inside the infra, I've got the back end servers inside this infra. Once I keep those clients, FEs and BEs in the infra, what I need is I need to put this particular clients in a specific group called as EPGs. I need to keep this particular FEs in a specific group called as EPGs. Likewise, the BEs need to be placed in a specific container or a group called as EPGs. All right. So you have the fabric ready, network constructs are ready. Now your job is to connect the clients, connect the FEs and the BEs to the fabric. Okay. So once you do that, your job is to connect to the clients, to the right EPGs, called as the client EPGs here. Okay. That is called as the front end EPGs. That is called as the back end EPGs. So the client should be connected to the client EPGs, FE to the FE EPGs, and B to the B EPGs. So think like they are my three separate containers. Once I do that, now whichever clients that is part of the same client EPG group, they can talk to each other. Whichever front-end servers that they're part of the same EPGs or front-end group or front-end EPG group, they can talk to each other. Whichever back-end servers part of the same BE EPG group, they can talk to each other. By default, what happens is this. Your fabric is ready. automatically the fabric is ready. Once the fabric is ready, once you connect on that automated fabric, your clients, your Fs and the Bs to the right EPGs. EPG stands for endpoint group, by the way. So you go to the fabric, you create endpoint groups, and you place the clients, the front end and the back ends in the right endpoint groups. Once you do that, the clients, the Fes or the Bs within the same EPGs, they can talk to each other. But what you need is this. You need the clients to talk to the Fe, and Fe doing AAA mechanism and all those stuff should be allowed to reach the B. All right. So we need something called as a placeholder here, which will allow something called as the clients to talk to the Fe by using something called as a contract. So we create something called as ACI contract, and we define that which clients can talk to which Fes and what is the direction of the access. Right? So we create something called as a contract to allow the clients to talk to the Fes, and likewise we need to have a separate contract here, which will allow my Fes to talk to the backend servers. So in the fabric, what do? Two important things you do. Once you do take care about the connectivity piece, your fabric is automatically built up. The fabric will be ready. On that ready fabric, you keep your clients, you keep your Fes and the Bs to the right EPGs, and then you write down something called as a contract of selecting which clients can talk to which Fes and which Fes can talk to what Bs and in what direction the access would be given. Okay, this is also called as application provisioning, AP. Whenever I write AP and all, just think like the term as application provisioning. So we are really not bothered about this networking construct right now. It's getting automated in the backend. You'll see when you do the labs and all, you will see everything is getting automated. Yeah, upfront there is a bit high work of building that particular fabric. Upfront, as an administrator or engineer, it's a bit of high work. But once that high work is done, your life is so smooth. The thing is, once your fabric is ready, oh, you have got some, DB servers, you've got some email servers. Oh, wow. Keep this DB in that DB EPG, connect this email servers to that email EPG. And since we have the contract already been written, so you know which Fes can talk to which DBs, which Fes can talk to which email servers. And you have got also a contract for what? Which clients can talk to which Fes. So upfront, when you do that particular big task, down the line what happens is you only think about application provisioning concept. Your mind shifts like networking construct is already there. What I need is which application should talk to which application. So you as a ACI engineer, you very, very closely work with something called as the application engineers or the developers. You need to go and very closely ask them that, okay, you have DB, you have got mail servers, you have got file servers, you have got blah, 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 many things that your business needs. Now tell me one piece, which front ends should access which backend servers and which clients on your list can access which front end servers. You have to go and ask them. And based on that, you do your ACI provisioning based on the application requirement, not based on you create the network first and then you place those applications on your created network and then the application would work. It's not like that. Network is ready. Okay, any app can talk to any app, but now your job is to really understand which client can talk to which FE should talk to which BE. And that is the reason you have to closely work with those application developer teams. And sometimes what happens is that is the real challenge that you face. Those application developers will not understand which FEs should talk to which BEs. Okay? That's the reason the AC engineers might face some big challenge of deploying those. All right? So the whole construct of making you understand is the word called as application provisioning. I have got a very special lesson that is on module number 4 called as application provisioning. So here